Now this number I've got in my head, if I multiply it by 6, I'm going to get 12. What number do I have in my head?
2.
All right. I got one more number in my head. So if I subtract 6 from this number, I'm going to end up with 6. What number do I have in my head?
12.
Okay. So you played 21 with me before, right?
Yeah.
All right. So 21 shows me one level of math ability and work ethic, like how hard you're willing to work at understanding a problem and trying to solve it. 21 tells me one piece of information about you. Now, this little quiz that we just did, that tells me another thing about you. The greatest skill you learn in Algebra 1 is the ability to solve equations, to identify the missing number. And when you can do that in your head and using words, that tells me that you know how to solve equations. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I'm not being offensive to you when I tell you that, am I?
No.
Nah, I'm joking, man. I'm sure I'm not being offensive because I'm complimenting that you seem to understand what's going on. So now in Algebra 1 Part B, you'll still be solving equations, but the equations may start to look a little more complicated, and the
Yeah.
equations may start to describe situations. They may start to describe making money by selling items and figuring out what your profit is versus your
Yeah.
cost, that kind of stuff. So you'll also start to encounter terms, words that describe these functions. So here's a term in this problem, the axis of symmetry. Now, do you know in words what symmetry is? No.
No, I don't.
All right. So symmetry refers to, let's say I drew a circle, like picture a circle in your head.
Yeah.
And let's say I took a vertical line and drew it in the middle of that circle. So imagine a circle with a vertical line drawn through it. That vertical line creates symmetry in that circle by dividing that circle into two equal semicircles, two equal half circles. Do you see that?
Yeah.
All right. So when I have a function like the graph of y equals x squared, are you familiar with what that graph looks like?
Kind of.
It looks like a smiley face. Is the best way for me to describe it. Now, can you picture that? A smiley face?
Yeah.
All right. Now, if I use the y-axis as an axis of symmetry, if I drew y equals x squared and I split it with the y-axis, I'm going to get half a smiley face on the left side. I'll have half a smiley face on the right side. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the function that we're looking at here has a smiley face characteristic as well, because I see f of x is equal to some number 3 times x squared. That tells me that graph is going to look like a smiley face.
Yeah.
And I am told what the axis of symmetry is, and I'm asked to figure out that missing number. So we're going to do with this problem what you and I did a few minutes ago with that little quiz I gave you. We're going to do the same thing. You believe me?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So here's how we're going to do it. We're going to use a graphing calculator that is available to you in Edgenuity, but the trick is I can't show it to you via Zoom like this in Edgenuity, because if you don't know it's there, if nobody has told you it's there, you may not even see it. but the
Yeah.
same tool is available online. So I'm going to pull up the online version that I have access to, and then you and I are going to look at this problem using a graphing calculator. You with me? You there, Alexis?
Yeah.
You still there?
Yeah. I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So here, let's rock and roll. I'm going to have to stop this share and share another screen, so bear with me while I get
All right.
my screen sharing together. I'm getting better at it though, man. I'm getting better every day.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the screen I want to share with you, and then I want to open my graphing calculator. It's called Desmos, and as I've said, now this same Desmos graphing calculator is available to you in Edgenuity. Whenever you're working
Yeah.
on a problem or an exercise, there's a little calculator icon in the upper left corner that allows you to pull up and see exactly what I'm seeing here.
All right.
All right. And the way it works is it's as simple as when you have a function presented to you in Edgenuity, you can copy and paste it here in Desmos. Well, maybe you have to do it a little bit better than I just did it. Yeah. All right. It was 3x squared. Remind me that it's 3x squared plus bx plus 4. Is that the function?
I think it was.
All right. Let me remind myself to make sure. All right, so you won't be able to see this, but I'm just checking. Yeah, it's 3x
Yeah.
squared plus bx plus 4. All right, and we're told that the axis of symmetry is x equals 3 halves. Okay, so let me
Yeah.
see if I can draw a picture of that, because what the graphing calculator allows you to do is you can graph multiple functions, I think. Yeah, see how you can add that function and say
Yeah.
x is equal to 3 halves. All right. Now I know that that is a vertical line. See how the vertical line appears?
Yeah.
And the
Yeah.
vertical line appears at the point 3 halves, comma 0. X is equal to 3 halves, or 1.5. Y is equal to 0.
Yeah.
Now let's go back to this first function I showed you here. I typed in 3x squared plus bx plus 4. It hasn't drawn a graph for me yet because I need to tell it what b is. So what I'm hoping is I can click this button. Yeah, and I can play around now with what b is. Now, let me put the question back up again so we can remind ourselves of what we're trying to do. All right. We are asked, Alexis, what value of b would make that vertical line split our graph in half. Does that make sense?
Can you repeat it again?
All right, we want to know what value of b, see where I'm pointing here? What value of
Yeah.
b would make that vertical line split this graph in half. Now see how the graph is not split by that vertical line yet? They're not close enough to each other. Do you see that?
Yeah.
All right, so now watch what happens as I adjust the value of b. Let's make b a little bigger. Right now it's b is equal to 1. Let's make b equal to, all right, so what's happening as
2.
I make b bigger?
It's getting further from 5.
All
Or
right,
close.
getting further away. So what should I do? What should I do? Should I make b bigger or make it smaller?
Smaller.
All right, let's see what happens if I make it smaller. All right, getting closer, getting closer, getting closer. Look at what is happening. Look at what is happening. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, looks like we're close here. Look at that.
Stopped right on 5.
Yeah, let's see what our values are now. Now, when b is equal to 8.9, it looks like that just about splits this axis. Now we're taking a multiple choice test, right? So what we know is in our experiment, we see that b is equal to minus 8.9.
Yeah.
Let's call it minus 9, negative 9, okay?
-9. Yeah.
Let's call it negative 9. Now let's see what we need to answer the question. Let me move this to the side here. Hey, look, negative 9 is the answer.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, man? I feel pretty good.
Yeah. I feel good.
All right. Now, have you seen this graphing calculator?
No.
All right.
What?
I wish I could help with that part of it, but the best way I can help is to tell you it's in there and that it's in the upper left corner. Whenever you take a quiz, it's always available in the upper left corner, and there's an icon that looks like a calculator. Now, while we are online together, can you take a look at Edgenuity on your side and just let me know if you can see it based on me telling you where it is?
You want me to pull up Ingenuity?
If you can. Now, I know you already online with me on the computer, so if you can, try to pull up that quiz in Edgenuity and see if you can see that calculator. Because do you tell me what you think about how effective that graphing calculator was? Was that helpful to you? Is what I'm trying to ask you.
Yeah, it seemed helpful.
Yeah, just to be able to see what's going on and to be able to
Yeah.
put that function in and play with it, it helps you see what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just log in real quick now and find this quiz and let me know if you can see it. And what I'll work
All
on,
right.
yeah, and I'll work on saving this so I can show it to somebody else. This is a quadratic function in standard form for Algebra 1B. And today is 9/10/2020. All right, you're still logging in?
Yeah, I'm logging in right now.
All right. You know, I've been talking about graphing calculators a lot today, man, because especially when we're not in the same place, like in the school building,
Yeah.
the calculator, that graphing calculator will help us talk about math in an effective way
Yeah.
since we don't have a whiteboard that we can walk up to and draw graphs. But even if we were in the same classroom, I use the graphing calculator a lot more now because it allows you to see things much more clearly.
Yeah. All right. I'm about to pull up the quiz.
Yeah, pull up the quiz, and my goal here is to help you see where that graphing calculator is and to show you that it is exactly the same type of calculator that I'm using here online.
Yeah. All right. I pulled it up.
All right, so you have the quiz, or did you find the calculator?
Yeah, I see it right here.
Okay, good, good.
Yeah, it has it's under like a pencil, a highlighter.
Probably not. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you exactly where. I just know it's in that. See, the first time I found it, Alexis, you know who showed it to me?
Who?
A student,
Oh.
because I didn't know what it was. But when they showed me that it was a graphing calculator, see, I was always using the one that I'm showing you now. But when they
Yeah.
showed me the one that they had, that's what let me figure out, oh, you guys have the same Desmos calculator that I have, but it's built into Edgenuity. So boy, doesn't
Yeah.
that make it simpler? to just use it from within Edgenuity instead of going and opening another web browser and using it from there.
Yeah.
Makes it much easier when you're working on a quiz like you're doing now.
Yeah.
All right. Now, can I tell you the truth about something? Do we know each other well enough where I can just talk real truth to you?
Probably.
All right. Seems like you know what you're doing, man. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. So now that's where what I know kind of stops, and that's where you have to teach me a little bit. Tell me what is holding you back now.
On algebra, I'm
Well,
having like trouble like with those type of questions we just did. Like fx equals 3x. I be having trouble on that, like how to like find the solution to b or something.
okay. All right. Well, the graphing calculator is definitely going to be of assistance to you there. Now,
Yeah, it's right here.
there's some other tools that will help as well. Now, I'm going to show one to you since we're already here. I'm going to, in the same screen I'm sharing, I'll just pop up another window
Yeah.
and show this to you. Now, I don't think this one is built into Edgenuity, but it's called symbolab.com.
Yeah.
All right, and what this does, man, is this will solve equations for you. And there's a particular reason I show students how to use this. Now, I'm going to type in a quadratic equation that has a solution I know. So I'm going to say x squared plus 6x plus 9 is equal to 0. Now, I can solve that equation on my own. You want to see me
Yeah.
solve it?
Sure.
The value of x that makes that equation true is x is equal to minus 3. You believe me?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Let's see if that's the solution now. Minus 3 squared is what number?
Minus 3
Yeah,
squared.
minus 3 times minus 3.
Ain't that is negative 0?
No, no. What's 3 squared? What's 3 times 3?
3 times 9.
All right, so what's minus 3 times minus 3?
Minus 3. 18?
No, 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 no.
No.
Now, 3 times 3 is 9. Minus
9.
3, look, minus 3 times,
6.
no, 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 no. 3 times 3 is 9. So minus
Yeah.
3 times minus 3 is also 9.
Oh.
Yeah, because 3 times 3 is 9, and then minus 1 times minus 1 is positive 1.
Oh yeah.
All right, so keep that in your head now. 9 is the first term. The second term is going to be 6 times minus 3. Now, what's 6 times minus 3? What's 6 times 3?
18.
All right, and then 18 times minus 1 is minus 18, negative 18.
Oh
So,
yeah, negative 18.
yeah, so my first term is positive 9. My second term is negative 18. Positive 9 minus 18 gives me negative 9. Do you see that?
Yeah.
All right, and then what is negative 9 plus positive 9?
Negative 9 plus negative 18.
Nope, 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 nope. So negative 9 means I'm moving to the left on the number line. The positive 9 means I'm moving to the right on the number line. So if I move 9 units to the left and then move 9 units to the right, I'm back at 0. See that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
All right, so minus 9 plus 9 is 0.
All right.
So that means the value of x that will solve this equation is x is equal to minus 3. So I hope you believe me now, because I just showed that it is true. You believe me?
Yeah, I believe you.
All right, now I said all of that so I can show you that what Symbolab does is Symbolab will solve this equation and show you the steps. All right, see how it has solved the equation? It says
Yeah.
x is equal to minus 3, and then see how it shows you the steps?
Yeah.
And now it shows you the steps using the quadratic formula, which is something that you're going to use a lot in Algebra 1 Part B. You may have been introduced to that in Algebra 1 Part A. I don't remember. Do you remember seeing the quadratic formula? Alexis, do you remember seeing the quadratic formula in Algebra 1 Part A?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, all right. So you'll continue to use it. Now, since I created that equation, see, I created one that I could just solve with my eyes. I didn't need to use the quadratic formula, but I did that so I could give you an example of how this thing actually works. Now imagine if it's an equation like the one that we just graphed and we were trying to solve it, then Symbolab would probably be of great help to you to practice using the quadratic formula. It would be an example. It would give you an example of where to put all the numbers to apply the formula correctly, how to do the calculations correctly, and it'll show you step by step, which will help you get better at using the quadratic formula. You see that?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Now, the danger to showing a student a tool like this is a student can say, oh, now you have solved all my problems, sir. I'll never have to think again. I'll just use this.
Yeah.
That's not what you want to do, man. That's not what you
Nah.
want to do.
You
Now,
gotta learn it so you know what you're doing.
yeah. Now, since we live in an online world, I said, okay, if I don't tell you about something like this, you can probably find out on your own. But if I tell you about it, and then I tell you and challenge you to use it responsibly, to use it to help you practice and practice standing on your own 2 feet and not to use it as a crutch, then man to man, hopefully you will respect what I'm telling you, and you'll even honor it by saying, all right, let me use it the way this man suggested I use it. I don't want to use it as a crutch. I want to use it to help me get better. How's that?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So it sounds like we're rocking and rolling. Because now at the end of the day, once I tell you that it's available, you're going to do with it whatever you're going to do with it. Now, my hope is you're going to do right by it. And even if you tell other people about it, you'll tell them to do right by it as well. Because if we all do right by it, this really does help us learn math and learn it
Yeah.
with some understanding and not just memorize answers and spit them back out on a test. We want to actually know what we're doing. So
Yeah.
now, how do you feel about moving through the rest of this quiz on your own?
Good. I'm gonna
Oh,
use the graph. See if it helps.
all right. Well, then I'm gonna leave it with you and say good luck, and certainly get back in touch with me. Let me know how it goes. I will see how you end up on Edgenuity anyway. But if you have any trouble or if you succeed, man, and you're pleased about it, hit me up and let's share that, because that will help me know that I'm helping you move on the right path.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you are good now, I want to turn you loose and let you go ahead and work on that. And I'm still available if you need me for anything else.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, man. You take care.
You too.
All right.